Now, there's a serious question about whether social media is making your child depressed, and a new study sheds light on the link between mental health and social media use. Here to talk about the latest research, our chief medical correspondent, Dr. Sانjay Gupta. Sánjay, I think maybe not a surprise, but deeply, deeply interesting and I think compelling to parents everywhere.
I think so. Look, it definitely caught my attention as a father of 3 girls. The reason this is interesting is because it sheds some light not only on who's most likely to be affected, but what exactly is likely to be going on here. Why could frequent social media use be linked to depressive symptoms? And there's sort of 3 things that the researchers really zeroed in on. We could show you them, but basically the idea that if you are on social media frequently, and I'm going to explain what I mean by that in a second, you're more likely to be exposed to cyberbullying, you're more likely to have poor sleep and less physical activity. Perhaps, again, that is obvious, but those are the 3 reasons they're really zeroing in on as to why the depressive symptoms occur. Much more likely to occur in girls. Much more likely to occur in girls. Boys seem to be fairly insulated from those specific effects. Now, it doesn't mean that they don't have other things that are affecting boys, but with regard to poor sleep, less activity, cyberbullying, really affecting girls. Now, we also know that girls more likely to have depressive symptoms overall once they start adolescence. So up to adolescence, boys and girls, similar rates of depression. After adolescence, girls really go up, and that's an effect that stays really until around the time of menopause. So you layer social media on top of that, and you could see why you have some of these problems. You know, it's also worth pointing out, and this is a nuance, but an important nuance. This wasn't necessarily the amount of screen time. You're sitting there staring at a screen, but it was the frequency of screen time. And just think about that. It's the number of times you're picking up the device, looking at it, putting it down, picking it up, looking at it, putting it down. So it's that frequency you got to pay attention to, not just the number of hours or number of minutes you've been looking at social media overall.
Sánjay, guide us. What do we do? Take our kids' phones away? Because I'm not sure that's going to go over well.
This idea of frequency versus time, John, pay attention to that one. This isn't just about, hey, you know, look, you can't possibly be on the screen for 10 hours a day. It's that you shouldn't be picking it up and looking at it over and over again. But set limits, be engaged as a parent. It's probably one of the most important things you can do given current culture.